So be it, Jedi.
What's going on, guys? Back with another video. About 6 months ago, I think around in May, these two figures were announced. The Cody reissue / 2.0, which for the sake of this video, we'll refer to it as a 2.0, and the 212 Airborne. Did a live unboxing on the Airborne Trooper. I mean, to sum it up, it's a great figure. Glad to have it. Nothing really wrong with it. In this video, we'll be talking about Cody, share with you my thoughts, my opinion, and I know it's been a while, so if you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you probably already had the first issue. So we'll see if this is actually worth being reissued or 2.0. First things first, when I started collecting, this figure was pretty much inobtainable. It was going for $350 to $400. I always wanted Cody, right? I mean, Cody's one of the most recognizable clone troopers in all of Star Wars. But at the time, I just wasn't going to pay that. He did come down a little bit recently to about $250, $275. And then, of course, after this was announced, he's pretty well retail. I never bought the original Cody because I heard stories of it having problems with the shoulder, the elbow, etc. I didn't want to buy a figure and, get a dud, something happened, have to deal with eBay customer support. So when this was announced, I thought, awesome. To be honest, 100%, I was more excited for the Airborne Trooper, but I always wanted this in the back of my mind, so I had to get them both. Now that I got it in hand, I share with you my thoughts. As I said, I never had the first one, so I can't directly in hand compare them, but from what I know, they are very similar. This Cody is a little bit taller, it's a different body. The cutouts around the armpit are a little bigger, sort of exactly like all the modern clones after Cody because he was the first. And the base is different, but other than that, there's really not a whole lot different. And my first impressions, getting out of the box, the belt is ridiculously loose around the waist. I know a lot of the time clone trooper belts are really tight, but they're meant to be that tight. I've never had a problem with not being able to rotate it or futz it any certain way. But this is so loose, you could probably spin it 360 degrees. You can look at it here, it's kind of ridiculously loose. It's got a swap out arm that the other one would have the battery powered light up for the hologram. That attaches like shit. It barely wants to stay on. This is a single jointed elbow, so it really is like a friction fit right here. So it doesn't fall off. Of course, you put it on there, have his arm hanging down, it's not going to fall off. But even in a pose like this, you kind of have to fight it and push it back, so it doesn't fall off as it's attached to the gun. The neck joint is very, I don't want to say loose. It's not like a sideshow figure, but it's not as tight as I'd like it to be. I noticed that when I got out of the box, this was sitting down like this, and I looked at it and I'm like, what the hell? Because if you look at it, this looks like this is, sticking out really far. But I think it's because this shoulder armor is always going to be impeded by this. So this is sitting a lot more forward. It's not going to sit back. I don't know. Something I thought about when I first got out of the box. So definitely need some button moving up. This Cody does have different shoulder armor than any other clone trooper. That being said, it's not bad. Glad to have it. To swap out the other one that takes batteries, I actually broke it trying to take the pieces apart to put the batteries in. So this figure is getting replaced, and I'm getting an entirely different figure because given the option of a full refund, which I could save a little money, buy a Cody 1.0 in the secondary market. But as I mentioned, I could run the risk of it being shitty, it being, formerly owned by a collector who doesn't take care of their figures, it having factory defects, whatever. And then I'm, dealing with eBay customer service. So I opted to just have a full exchange. I don't want to deal with it. They offered me $30, which I'm never going to use this part anyway, but it's the fact of the matter that if I try to sell it, I sell it to somebody, they go to use the light up arm, it breaks, it's on me. You know what I mean? So I am going to be boxing this back up and shipping it out next week. So good on them. Good on Sideshow. The customer service is A1. I know my last video talking about the battle damage Darth Vader, I mentioned that I broke it, but I'm not really a guy that breaks figures. It's just the shit must have been cold. It's been chilly. It's kind of chilly in my house. Brittle plastic. I don't know. It snapped. But objectively, compared to all the other clones in my collection, this is the worst. I have to say it's the worst. It was the biggest pain in the ass out of all the clones I've had to deal with because of this arm right here. I guess I didn't know going into it that this was a single joint. So this is essentially as far as you can bend the arm. I didn't expect this to be so, you know, a pain in the ass to fit on there. And of course, breaking it is really a non-issue because it was my fault, and it doesn't go against the figure, I should say. That being said, Cody is iconic. If you're only going to have like one clone trooper, Cody is the one to have, or Captain Rex. I think the two are the most iconic clone troopers in all of Star Wars. So definitely he's going to be staying in the collection, but going to have to be getting that replacement. Really looking forward to Hot Toys announcing just the plain 212 decoed clone trooper. I really would be interested in just getting one. I think just having the airborne with Cody, having the one grunt, look pretty cool, and you wouldn't be, buying doubles, which I'm trying to stay away from. If you missed out on it and you really wanted the Phase 1 helmet and you got the 1.0, just bite the bullet and spend whatever $60, $75 on the Phase 1 helmet. Don't worry about tracking this down. It's more of a pain in the ass than what it's worth. If you're looking for a Cody, I would say try to find the 1.0 for a good deal. And if you got any problems, buy it from somewhere that'll cover your ass and we'll give you a refund or exchange it or whatever it may be, get your money back if something happens. If I had the 1.0 and I bought this thinking it was going to be something different, I'd be disappointed. Needless to say, Cody is awesome. Revenge of the Sith, my favorite Star Wars film. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Just want to share this with you. Give you the heads up on this figure if you didn't already know. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, see you in the next one.
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.